What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Imperial Diecast. And today, I'm reviewing the second R35 Nissan GTR on my channel. And it isn't the stock version like last time, but a facelift in the Liberty Walk body kit. Now, as you can see, this is what the packaging looks like. You can see it's made by a company called Jiaye Model. And we have here their logo at the top, once again. And this is scale 122, so it's a bit larger than 124. Here at the sides, on the back. Then here we have another cutout to see the front of the car. And then the bottom just has a bunch of text in Chinese, along with some instructions on how to assemble or open the battery compartment and in which order to insert the batteries. As you can see, it's supposed to be done like that. Anyway, let's open this up. I got this model from AliExpress for around 23 euros with box and free shipping during one of their many sales, which I'd say is a good price considering that's how much 124 cars cost these days without shipping. And here it is. The 122 scale / 124 Nissan GTR. In a very special livery. Nissan's been making the R35 since 2007, but I think this model is based on the 2017 facelift in a Liberty Walk body kit. Liberty Walk, as some of you may know, is a Japanese aftermarket tuning house founded in 1993 that specializes in body kits for all kinds of supercars. Now on the sunstrip it clearly says Nismo, but the riveted side panels here, these over fenders as they're called, are a Liberty Walk body kit. Either way, this model I believe is not the 2020 facelift, because that one is known for its black fender louvers, but this model doesn't have any. So I think this model is based on R35s between 2017 and 2020. And the R35s of 2016 and earlier didn't have any black corner panels. Now, Liberty Walk has released several body kits for the R35 as part of a series known as LB Works, which is different to the body kit series they made for other supercars like Lamborghinis, where the kits are called LB Performance. And these R35 LB Works body kits they have named as Type 1, Type 1.5, Type 2, etc. And Type 1 is a body kit for the R35s that came out before 2017. Because the Type 1 body kit didn't have any fender louvers and also didn't have any front corner air intakes. And the Type 2 has the fender louvers, so this feels like it's based on the Type 1.5, which comes close. But the corner grills are still shaped differently, and the ones on the model look more like the 2020 Nismo's black panels, which are not grills, but they're not as wide. And the model also doesn't have the fins on the front corners, or canards I should say, that the LB Works version 1.5 does, but these weirdly shaped ones that I haven't seen on any real-life R35. Same regarding the part here behind the wheel as well. Jiaye also made an R35 GTR, but theirs is definitely the Type 2 because it's got the black fender louvers and fins at the corners. However, Jiaye are always super careful about their unlicensed branding, and so at the back of the car they've written Nissan instead of Nissan, as is correctly spelled out here. But for some reason Jiaye model was scared of spelling out Liberty Walk and wrote Liquefy Walk instead. Now Jiaye model also made this in a red and black two-tone, and in a full black with gold trim. What this model also has is light and sound effects. And the lighting is really good though, not just on the front but especially on the back. It's really bright. In 118, Solido has been making a bunch of these Liberty Walk Nismos since a couple years ago, and I think most of the initial colors are sold out, but there's constantly new liveries being made, and I never really liked any of those colors, but when I first saw this dark blue and white combo, even though it's in the smaller scale, I was like, damn, I need to get this, and the fact that the hood and trunk can both be opened, while they can't on the 118 Solido, is also something that convinced me. So taking a look at the front of the 122 scale Nissan GTR, you can see that the front looks pretty good, I'd say. We've got the GTR logo in the middle of the grille, and there is no grille texture on either side of the GTR logo though, just a gap. On the Jiaye, you get a mesh texture here. Also, this bottom part here is supposed to be in silver on the real car, I think. What I like though is that you get a Nissan branding on the front bumper. On the Jiaye, it simply says Jiaye at the front, which is really weird. It would be as bad as a Maisto model saying Maisto on the front license plate. We got the front splitter here, nice and shiny. On the real car, it's probably carbon fiber though. What's also missing are the two strut bars connecting the front splitter with the bumper. From here though, you can see a bit of the radiator, which is nice. Here's a look at those corner panels, and I painted the top part in silver where the DRLs are supposed to be, so they look a bit better now. As we move up to take a look at the hood, you can see it's got the Motul branding, which is a French motor oil company. And speaking of motor, let's get the hood open. Now this hood has some pretty tight shut lines. As you can see, it's very hard to open just using your fingers. So that's why this company has provided us with a button underneath, right there, which you can press. And that should lift up the hood. Let's see if I can get it done. There you go. And that makes it easy to open. So let's check it out. So here's a look at the engine, and you can see that Jiaye model has done a pretty solid job on it. They didn't completely chrome it out like Jada would, for example, nor did they just leave it unpainted like Motormax would. In fact, this looks pretty good. You've got your air filters here, your intake hoses, leading into a 3.8-liter twin-turbo V6, providing 565 horsepower. And we also get a Nissan logo in raised lettering. Although, of course, we don't get actual letters on it, but it's just the logo that's raised. Still, I like the fact that the engine block is painted in red, and we've got more details here than you'd expect on a 124 AliExpress model. And here's a look at the side of the car. We get the GTR logo above the fender vents. Next to the Nissan branding, we have the number 46 and LB Power as decals. And regarding the over fenders, What I like is that the riveting isn't just painted on, but the individual bolts are embossed into the bodywork. Unfortunately, the shape of the over fenders is a bit off. On the front you can tell the wheel arch is a bit too high because it's not level with the rear wheel arch, and there isn't enough space to fit the black fender louvers if this were a 2020 GTR with the LB Works version 2 body kit. And the one on the rear wheels isn't supposed to continue like this to the back, but instead curves down and ends somewhere here. The leading angle also doesn't stop here, but continues until it meets the rocker panel. Liberty Walk R35s are also known for their negative camber on the wheels, but this one being a budget model doesn't have them. Not that I mind though, because I was never a fan of cambered wheels. I like the fact that they've made sure to include brake discs and calipers though, and the gloss black rims with the red trim also look nice, although they don't have the GTR logos on the hubs. It also says Bride here for some reason. Not sure if it's supposed to say Bridgestone or something. And here's a look at the back of the 122 scale Nissan GTR in the Livery Walk body kit. And you can see it has a bunch of logos here at the back. We've got Nissan, of course, GTR on the rear license plate. We then have HKS and Toyo tires, LB Power number 46. The Nissan GTRs are known for their 4 signature taillights, and they look decent here on the Jiaye model, especially when you turn on the light and sound effect, although as you can see, only the outer 2 taillights light up this way, while the inner 2 remain without any LEDs. We've got a gigantic rear diffuser and quad exhausts, although the interiors are not painted. I could have painted this in black, but I thought that because they have some depth, that would be lost if I just painted it in black, so you can see here some extra details on them. I like the fact that there is no panel gap between the trunk lid and the car body. It was pretty noticeable on the 124 Jada version, and I used to tell myself, well, at least the trunk opens, but here the trunk opens and has great shut lines. Just goes to show that you can accomplish this even on an unlicensed budget 124 model, so companies like Motormax, Jada, and Burago have no excuse for failing to do so. And now let's check out the interior of the R35 Nissan GTR. And let's check out the door panel first. And you can see that the door handle is painted in silver. There's also another silver bit down there. The speaker is also hinted at, but there is no texture on it. And now regarding the interior. You can see that for a 124 scale model, this is done pretty well. I mean, there's not a whole lot, of course, but you've got what looks like a little bit of stitching here on the dashboard. We then have this air vent here, some more detail on the top of the dashboard. You'll see that the center console is angled toward the driver, so we'll take a look at it from the driver's side in a second. There is no rear view mirror, unfortunately. At least the side view mirrors are painted in silver. Many 124 AliExpress models don't even bother to do that. As for the seats, they are sports seats, as you can see, but they don't have any like Recaro branding or something on them. But they do have some texture on the seat backs. So checking out the driver's side. There is no logo on the steering wheel, which is unfortunate. The Jiaye does have the GTR logo on it. They made sure to give the R35 its display, and underneath you also get the housing for the CD player, radio buttons, and so on. Nothing is labeled, but this is a 124, so what bothers me more is that the shifter isn't accurately shaped and looks more like a stub. The seats are also completely black. On the Jiaye they are two-tone and have red seat backs, which look nice, but sadly not here. The R34 is known for its speakers in between the rear seats, and Jiaye model replicated the top one, but had to omit some details on the bottom half because that's where the pullback mechanism housing sits. What I like, though, is the fact that the aircon vents are painted in silver, while they are black on the Jiaye. And taking a look at the bottom of the car, you can see that we have here not much in terms of detail. We've got the logo of double horses here. Now on the box it says Jiaye model, but here on the undercarriage it says double horses, so I assume they are one and the same company, but it's weird that they gave themselves two different names. Some detail for the exhaust system. And the rear diffuser here as well. So I hope you guys liked my review of the 122 scale Nissan GTR in the LB Works bodykit version 1.5. This is a nice looking model if you like this blue and white color scheme. But if you want a more accurate replica of a 2020 GTR in the LB Works version 2 bodykit, I recommend the Jiaye version instead, or just get one of the many 118 scale Solidos. If you want to check out how this 122 scale car scales up in comparison to the 122 Jada model, you can watch the upcoming video that I will post soon. Take care, have a wonderful day. This is Imperial Diecast, signing out.